Hey Dreamlees, welcome back to another tutorial. If you're new here, my name is Leah and today I'm going to be teaching you the full dance of Up by Kep1er. I would give this dance a difficulty score out of 10, about 8. It's quite an advanced choreography, I would say higher intermediate, it's just really fast. This is going to be an explanation video, and if you would like to practice with the slow music as usual, then that tutorial with the music will be linked up on the top right in the cards. If you would like to practice with a tutorial where the explanation and the music is in one video, then that will be on my Patreon page, all linked in the description box. And a big shout out to my patrons who have been supporting me on that platform. For this dance, I referenced these 2 fan cams. I think I followed all of the members at some point in the choreography. I might have missed out one. Remember, if I'm speaking too fast or too slow for you, then feel free to change the speed of the video in the YouTube settings right here, or up here if you're learning on tablet or iPhone. This is lesson 1 and this is the introduction. We're going to start by facing the left side and we're going to be following different poses each time. Keep in mind that the members are going to change the poses each time they perform, so you can literally hold any 3 poses you want at this point. But for the fan cam that I watched, so you're going to hold here for 1, 2. On 3, you're going to turn on your right side and you're going to hold the first pose, whichever you like here. So I'm going to start with my right finger pointing to my cheek like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to face the front and we're going to bend in our left knee. You're going to put 2 half heart shapes on your cheeks like this on 5, 6, and then 7, 8. You're going to do this underneath your chin. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But there you could do literally anything you want in those 3 pose opportunities. So the next move from here will go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So what we're going to do there is we're going to step on our right foot, right foot, up, looking up on the top right, and just step down with your left toe. As we do that, we're going to flick our right hand down, flick our left hand, flick the right, and then click up to the top. Now as we do that, let's add it all together. So you're going to go flick, up. Okay, on up, you look up to the top right and click up to the top right as well. Then finally, you're just going to walk back into your place on 5, 6, 7. Then they're all going to say, listen. What we're going to do is bend our right knee into the left side. We're going to get our right hand, twist it onto our ear like this, on listen like this. But you can do whatever you want here. You can go listen like this, whichever side you want. I think that facing this way is the most suitable, just to naturally shift into the next verse in terms of positioning. So we're going to recap from here quickly with the counts. This will go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, listen, like this. Okay, so that is the intro done. So we're going to go all the way from the beginning and recap that with the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. This is lesson 2 and this is verse 1. So these are quite fast hand movements here. We've just finished here on listen. So the next 4 counts will go 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So from here, after listen, you're going to hold it for 1. Then on and 2, we're going to go and. We're going to put our hands onto our shoulders, lift our right knee, and 2. We're going to pump our chest and our hands, shoulders inwards. So from here, 1 and 2. As you step back on the right, then on and, we're going to go and. We're going to lean forward, expand our chest, and put our hands facing down to our waist. Here, fingers open, and then on 3, 4, we're going to go 3, 4. So we're going to lean backwards on that right knee, and we're going to twinkle our fingers forward. So from here again, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Now quickly you're going to go and like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to slide in your right leg to the center. The hands that were in this position, you're going to keep the right hand facing down, but the left hand's going to flip up, and you're going to push the right hand straight all the way up to the top. So after 3, 4, this will go and now bring in your leg, your right leg. Now from here, hands alone, we're going to go 5 and 6 and. So from this position here, we're going to bring up the left to the center and put the right down to the right side. Now we're going to bring the right into the center, lift the left hand up alone, and then finally come here with the right up to the top and left hand to your side. Okay, one more time from here. 3, 4, and 5 and 6 and. Okay, now we're going to do it with some feet movements. So from here, when we go and, we're going to lift our right leg up in the air. 5, we're going to put the right leg down behind us. 5 and, then on 6, when we lift the left hand up to the top, you're going to lift your left knee like this. And then when you switch for the final time, you're going to put the left knee down and bring your right knee in. So from here again, 3, 4, this will go, and 5 and 6 and, then on 7, 8, we're going to go 7, 8. Our hands are going to glide downwards into fists, and we're going to lean our head down on the right side like this. So 7, 8. Okay, so let's just do a quick recap with counts from the beginning before we continue. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. Now from this position, the next counts will go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to go down on your right foot, step forward, put your hands onto your right knee and bring your left knee all the way down to the floor. So from here, this will go 1, 2. Now we're going to shuffle our feet forwards and switch our knees. 3, so I just shuffled and walked forward and put my left knee up and hands on my left knee. So again, 1, 2, 3. Now on 4, we're going to twist our body to the right side, and we're also going to switch our knees. So now our left knee is going to go to the floor, and we're going to put our hands on our right knee. 4. Now we're going to hold it for 5, come up on 6, 6, 7, 8, 1. You simply walk straight to your place. From here again, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Okay, so that is the first half of verse 1. We're going to go all the way from the beginning and do that with the counts. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. All right, part 2 now. So we just finished on 1. Now on and 2, we're going to do the same move that we did before, where we go and 2. So we're going to step backwards on our right foot, push our chest out, and then in with our hands on our shoulders. So 1 and 2, but we're going to stay in this position now. 2 and. On and, you're going to overlap your hands and put them up in front of you. So 1 and 2 and. Then on 3, we're going to get these hands, spin them around to the right side with our hips following. 3, over to the right side. 4. We're going to bring in our left knee here, and we're going to pulse our hands forward with our chest, like this. So again, from the second half. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, like this. Okay, now we're going to put our hands down. Left is closer to you, right is out. Now as we do that on 5, we're going to step backwards on our left leg. 5, 6, and. Okay, so from here, we're going to step back left, then right, jump onto it, and then your left again. So from here, 4, this will go 5, 6, and with the left foot. Then on 7, 8, we're going to get this right foot, that's in the back. We're going to step over in the front. 7, we're going to spin our hips and this right hand alone. Around 7, 8. On 8, you're going to touch forward and lift your left leg off the floor. So from here again, after 4, this will go 5, 6, and 7, 8, like that. Okay, just before we continue to end that part, let's go from the second half and recap that with the counts. 8, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. After you finish on 8, you're going to walk around with your left foot. 1, 2, then your right foot to face the front again. So from here, 1, 2, now you're going to get your hands, and what you're going to do is you're going to lean backwards on the right side, and you're going to wave like that. So the first wave, you're just going to body wave backwards. The second wave, you're going to lift your left leg up. So after this move, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to walk to your place on 5, 6 to face the front. Then on 7, you're going to get your hands into fists and bring them down your body. As you do that, you're going to jump forward on your right leg. 7, like this, lift your left in the back. 7, then we're going to step with our left leg and go 8, cross your hands facing upwards, cross them, 8, and. Okay? So, from this move here, this will go 1, 2, wave, 5, 6, 7, left, right. Okay? Cross, open. Okay, so that is the end of verse 1. We're going to recap the second half one more time from I'm good, all the way over here like this. And then we're going to go all the way from the beginning and do that with the counts. 8, 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, and. This is lesson 3, and this is the pre-chorus, the first pre-chorus. So we've just gone 7, 8, and. Now we're going to switch our hip to the left, and I'll show you the counts. So the first few counts will go 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so what you do from here is you're going to switch your hip to the left. You're going to point your finger all the way up to the top, and then you're going to bend it down and back up. That will be on the count of 1 and 2. Okay, so you just bounce it down and up. Now we're going to bring in our right foot and our right knee over to this side. As we do that, we're going to put our left hand to our hip. You're going to get this gesture with your right hand. Put it to your left cheek. So twist it so the back of your hand and your arm is showing. You're going to put it to your left cheek. You're going to step right and left, so bring in your left knee and put this to the other side, so onto your right cheek. So, from the beginning, this will go 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, now the next few counts will go 5 and 6, 7, 8. So from here, what you're going to do after finishing here, you're going to step with your left foot, 5. Now lift your right off the floor, get your hands up, and 6. You're going to tap your toe, your right toe off the floor, tap your hand on your shoulders, and then off. Okay? So from here, this will go 5 and 6. Then we're going to push these hands, palms facing outwards, up to the top. And as we do that, we're going to step back right, left, as we bend our knees. From the end of here, this will go 5 and 6, 7, 8. Okay? Now, we're going to recap from the beginning before we continue and do that with the counts. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8. So at the end of 8, you're going to step back now with your right foot. You're going to get your right hand in a fist, and we're going to go pump, pump 2 times. So you're going to get your right fist, pump your chest in, and then in again, and bring the fist out to the other side, so behind you. So after 7, 8, this will go 7, 8, and 1, 2. You're twisting your body around. Now you're going to face the right side. We're going to go up on our left leg, get our hands left on the bottom, right on the top. We're going to go onto your left leg, bring your right knee up. So from here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from this position, keep your right leg in the air. We're going to get this, the right index finger in the air. We're going to point down on the left, crossing our right foot over. 5, 6, point out to the right side, spin this to the back. Now we're going to get a gun gesture with our right hand, left hand as the base, and we're going to bring in our foot and bounce in this position. So put the gun gesture, your elbow to your hand, bring in your left knee. So after here, this will go 5, 6, and 7, 8. Come up on 8 to get ready for the next move. So just bring your feet and you position yourself in the center. So that is the first half of this pre-chorus. So let's go to the beginning and recap that with the counts. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. Now from here, on 8, you're going to put your hands down 8. So next is a very, very fast part. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your hands on your thighs. You're going to step back on your right foot, bend your knees. You're going to swivel your hips to the right side, then to the left side. Now you're going to swivel to the right one more time, but as you do that, you're going to get your hands and clap them together and grab onto each other like this. Then we're going to step one more time onto our left foot, but bring our hips up straight to the top. So this will go 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you step with that left foot, really push yourself up like this and bring in your right foot. Now what you're going to do, hands alone, we're going to go 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So that was just to show you, but what we're going to do, after we come up, we're going to put our hand, our left hand in a fist, and then your right hand in this gesture here. So these are the 2 gestures. We're going to put the left fist in front of our face, right hand behind first. Quickly switch. You're going to open and close your fingers like this. So your index finger and thumb is going to open and close quickly. So this is going to go 5 and 6. You're going to do it again, and 7 and 8. Now, can you see on the final and 8, you're going to keep your fingers open when you separate them. So 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Now, as we do that, as we come up, when the left fist punches forward for the first time, we're going to flick out our right foot and our right hip like this. Come back to the center, bending in your right knee, then open and close your fingers. Then again, right foot out to the side, back, and then open your fingers. So the counts will go 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So we're going to quickly recap the second half from the beginning. So when we go down to the floor like this, and do that with the counts before we continue this part. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Next is another fast part. So we're going to step out to the right once more. We're going to get our hands facing upwards. We're going to push them out to the right side with our right foot. Out, back into the center. You're going to overlap your hands like this and bring in your right foot, your right knee. Now you're going to twist your hands towards you and put your hands like this, overlapping each other in front of your face. Then you're going to separate your hands, step out with your left foot, separate your hands, put your head to the left and back in. So the counts will go 1 and 2 and 3, like this. So 3 and back. Then on and 4, we're going to twist our hands towards our chest, like this. So you're going to put your left hand as the base, right hand and index finger pointing up. So once more, you're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then from here, we're going to get our right index finger up to the top and we're going to point it down, down, down as we lean our head to the left. And as we do that, we're going to step left, right, left, and then back up to the top. So from here, this will go 5, 6, 7, 8, back up to the top. Just before we continue to transition into the chorus, we're going to recap from the second half one more time. So from down here, like this, and do that with the counts. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now is the final 8 counts that builds up to the chorus. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our right index finger, we're going to twist, twist. Okay, so we're going to circle it 2 times. So the first spin, bend your knees. Second spin, flick your left hip. Then finally, you're going to get your left index finger and point forwards and back. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. Keep your left hand with the index finger. You're going to jump with your feet apart, like this. You're going to bend your right knee and straighten out your left leg. And as we do that, we're going to get this index finger from the bottom. Okay, so it should be pointing upwards, straight arm. From the bottom, we're going to slowly curve this up as we slide in our left leg. Then finally, bring up your left knee like this. And then we're going to hit 2 times into the right side with our index finger. And you can slightly, very, very slightly, jump on the spot with your right foot. Because this is going here, we go, like this, okay? From this part here, this will go with counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get into the chorus from there. So one last time, we're going to recap the second half. So from here, and add in that final part. And then we're going to go all the way from the beginning and do it with the counts. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This is lesson 4, and this is the chorus. So I'm going to have to adapt my counts to the sound of the music so that you memorize it better. We're just going, here we go. From here, we're going to jump with our feet in the center, and we're going to roll our body up. So from the back left all the way up to the top. Now, as we do that, we're going to get our right index finger. We're going to shoot this all the way up to the top, lean back with our head to the left, and then we're going to snap up and put our hands straight as possible, facing down. So this will go 1, 2, okay? Then on and 3, and you're going to wave your arm on the left side and then wave out with your right hand. So you're going to be doing a wave, you're going to curl your fingers on the left and then wave out on the right. So again, curl your fingers on the left, elbow, shoulder, transfer to the right shoulder, bend the elbow on the right, and roll out your fingers on the right arm. As we do this, we're going to be stepping right and left. We're going to be on our left toe and bringing in our left knee, and then we're going to look to the right side. From the beginning, from the point, this will go 1, 2, and 3, and, okay? Then on 4, and we're going to step left, right, 4, and. Back to the front, you step left, right, you're going to get these hands, and you're going to overlap them like this with your left on the bottom and right on the top. So again, from the pointing part, from the beginning, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Then on 5, 6, we're going to go 5, 6. So from here, you're going to lean your head over to the left side, and you're going to open out these hands like this into a box. So 5, 6. As you do that, you're going to slowly raise your right knee. So 5, 6. Now we're going to skip over to the right side, right, left, left. So once more, you're going to step right, left, and raise the right knee again. Then on the final right, left, you're going to keep your feet down. Now, as we do that, we're going to get our box. We're going to push this right hand to the other side, to the other side. So you're going to close the box 2 times. So from here, ba bam, like this. Again, right, left, With counts now, this will go 5, 6, and 7, and then on 8, we're going to step back on our left foot in the back, 8, and. So from here, we're going to step left, right, and put our hands down and grab them into fists. Okay, so just before we continue, we're going to recap with the counts from the beginning. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and. So after 8 and, we're going to go 1, 2. So from here, we're going to lift our hands up and lean our head to the back. As we raise our fists in the air, we're going to get our left foot and put it out to the right side and cross it over. So from here, this will go 1, 2. On 3, 4, we're going to cross our arms like this. You're going to cross your left over your right as you spin around with your feet in place. So spin around towards the back and spin around like this. With counts, that will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from here, we're going to get our right index finger and point up with our right hand. Point up with your left hand and your left foot. Then we're going to step with our right foot and go all the way up with our right index finger. Finally, put your hands down and have a slight tilt to the right side to restart the chorus again. So from the move when we go up like this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hands down. Okay, so that is the first half of the chorus. Let's go all the way from the beginning and do that with the counts. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is the second part of the chorus. What we're going to do is we're going to jump again and redo the first few counts of the first part of the chorus. So on we go, you're going to jump in your place and point up. We go, snap. Then you're going to do the same wave to the other side. Then what you're going to do is you're going to step left, right to the front like before, but we're going to go left, right like this. You're going to put your right knee in. We're going to put your left hand as the base, and you're going to put your right index finger onto your left hand like this. So from we go again, this will go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So this is on rainbow. You're going to get your right index finger and go over your head like this, like a rainbow like this. 5, 6. Now we're going to get our left hand underneath our jaw, just opposite our jaw like this. Right hand out to the very top. We're going to flick our hands up 2 times. Now with our feet, what we're going to do is we're going to step left, right, then right, left. Okay, so one more time. Left, right, bring it up, right, left. And you want to make sure that you finish with your right foot in the air. So as we do that, that will go da-da, da-da. Okay, so you're going to step left, right, left. So with counts from the second half, this will go from here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6. Now with counts with the move I just showed you, this will go and 7, and. Okay, then on 8, and we're going to go 8, and. From this position, the reason why you need to have your right leg in the air is you're going to step right and left. You're going to get this right hand, circle it down, and cross it over with your left hand and have your fingers open. So from the rainbow part, this will go 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and, like this. Then we're going to step over to the right side, right, left, right, like that. As we do that, we're going to separate our hands and open them and lean our head over to the right side. So again, we're going to step right, left, right, bring up our left knee. Then we're going to do the other side, left, right, left. Okay, so you're going to get these hands and cross them back in, and we're going to step left, right, left. So you're going to bend your head over to the left side and raise your right knee. So again, from here, this will go 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Then we're going to do the up, 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 up move again. So you're going to step right, left, right, and down. When you put your hands down, you should be having a tilt to the left side. All right, so that was the whole chorus done. So we're going to go from the second half from here, and then when we do the rainbow part, and then after that, we're going to go all the way from the beginning and do it all with the counts. 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is lesson 5, and this is the post chorus. Now from here, you should be facing the left side. What you're going to do is step back with your left foot and have a bend in your right knee. As you do that, you're going to get your right index finger point down like this, bend at the wrist. So this will go 1, then on 2, we're going to roll our head up like this and slide in the back leg back to the middle. So this will go 1, 2, 3. Now what we're going to do is get our left hand, and you see this gap over here. Push it forward and then back into a fist. Boom, boom. So in between the gap, push it forward and then into a fist. From the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Now we're going to do a series of quick movements. We're going to go 5 like this first. So from here, you're going to get this index finger and point it all the way back. We're going to lean forward and switch our knees. So our left knee is going to be bending forward. This is going to go 5, then on 6, you're going to come back up, put your hand backwards again, 6, then on 7, we're going to put our index finger to the side of our chest, and we're going to jump onto our right leg like this and raise our left knee. 7, and we're going to point forward, step backwards with your left leg. Then on 8, we're going to get our hand open, spin this around our head, 8 to the other side. So after here, the quick movements will go 5, 6, 7, and 8 around. Okay? So from the very beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8 around. Now, we're going to repeat a similar thing. We're going to get our left index finger now. We're going to point down. We're going to step back with our right foot. 1, 2, 3. You're going to come up again, roll your body up, slide in your back leg. Again, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to step right, left to face the front. Now, as we do that, we're going to get our hands. We're going to cross them like this. So we're going to cross them on the bottom and they're going to end up like this. You want to have the palm of your left hand facing outwards and the back of your right hand facing outwards, okay? So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and to face the front. Okay, so cross here. We're going to go 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the hand movement. So from this position here, you're going to twist your right hand into a fist and then twist this hand around so the back is facing. So from here again, 5, 6, you're going to do the other side. So you're going to twist this into a fist and then twist the back of this hand, the right hand. And you're just going to keep repeating that. So from here, this will go 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8, finally, you're going to flick your hands out. So as we're doing that, we're going to walk into our place. 5, 6, 7, and 8. On 8, when you flick out to either side, you're going to face the left again. So we're going to recap quickly here when we point down on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, facing the left. So that's the first half. Let's go all the way from the beginning and recap that before we continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, after flicking out, we're going to repeat what we know already when we point down over here and step back with our left leg. So this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So you repeat that move and you push your left hand out between the gap and bring it back into a fist. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Now what we're going to do is we're going to point our fingers up, up, up. So you're going to do right hand, left hand, right hand slightly higher, okay? Now, as we're doing that, after we've gone here, we're going to go up with our right knee, up, put your foot back down, but put your left finger up again with your right hand, bring your right knee up. Then we're going to put both our feet down and both hands, index fingers behind your head, both feet down. Then we're going to shoot both fingers up to the top and shoot our left hip up like this. From here, this will go up, 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 up. With counts, this will go 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, on 1, we're going to go 1, we're going to bend our knees and put both our hands overlapping behind our head. So after here, this will go 1, then on and, we're going to go and. You're going to shift your hands over to the left side. We're going to cross our right foot over to the left side as well. From here, this will go 1 and, then on 2 and, we're going to get our hands and our right foot, spin them around all the way to the back like this. So you're spinning your right foot all the way around to the back. And as you do that, you're going to copy with your hands. So hands are going to spin in the same direction as your leg, like this. And then finally, you're going to hit forward like this with your right elbow, like that. From here, this will go 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay? Just before we continue, we're going to go from the second half, from here, like this. And then we go up, up, up. We're going to do that first with counts before we continue. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, now to finish, after you just hit, you're going to walk forward, walk, walk, walk in your place. Now, as we do that, we're going to get our hands and curl them from pinky to thumb like this on the right side of our head, the top of our head. Then we're going to put our left hand to our hip. We're going to get this right hand, circle it around our head like this, and then point forward, so point down and then up. So from this position, we're going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. Then to finish, there's going to be an additional 4 extra counts. So after 8, we're going to hold it for 1, Then on and two, we're going to go and two. So you're going to put your left hand, the back of your left hand on your hip. You're going to get your right hand on your mouth like this, leaning on your right hip like that, looking over to the right side. So from here, this will go 1 and 2. Now you're going to get your right hand in a fist, grab out to the left side, 3 and 4. You're simply just going to pretend that you're grabbing onto someone's hand or someone's arm. You're going to swing this over your head and face the right side for the next verse. So that little extra bit here, this will go 5, 6, 7, 8, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 to face the right. Okay, so that is the post-chorus done. Just before we get into the next verse, what we're going to do is recap one more time from the second half, from here, and we go up, 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 and then we're going to go all the way from the beginning with the counts. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay, this is lesson 6 and this is verse 2. So we've just finished by grabbing over here and circling over our head. So what we're going to do is step back on our left foot and bend our knees. We're going to get our hands left shorter than the right and we're going to just twinkle them outwards to the right side. So this will go 1, 2, and we're going to look to the right as well. So again, 1, 2. Now we're going to step back with our right foot over here. As we do that, we're going to look back to the front, get our left hand in a fist, and we're going to point as if you're pointing to your watch. So again, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on and, when we lift our left leg to walk backwards again, we're going to go and, we're going to push both hands out, 5, 6. When you step back with your left foot, you're going to bring these fingers in from pinky to thumb into your chest. So again, from the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6. Now we're going to step back right and left and we're going to push our hands out to the top, which is what we learned in lesson 3. And we're going to step backwards, right and left. So after 5, 6, this will go and 7, 8, okay, from lesson 3. Then we're going to do that same popping move where we step back on our right foot and we go and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's all the same, those few moves. So again, from the beginning, to add that in, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now from here is different. You're gonna walk, then on and 7, we're gonna go and 7, 8. So you're gonna get your left index finger, point up to the top, point out to the left, bend backwards on your right hip, bend your left knee. So after here, 3, 4, this will go 5, 6, and 7, 8. Put your hands down for the next verse. So we're going to recap from the beginning. That is the first half before we get into the fast rap part in the second half. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Now, I'm going to match the counts with the rhythm of her lyrics. So we're going to go 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4. So first you're going to step back on your left foot. Okay, back on your left. So you're going to get your hands onto your chest, expand your chest forward, and then push them back out. 1 and, like this, okay? And we're going to step back on our left foot. 1 and. Then on 2 and, we're going to step back with our right foot and we're going to tumble our hands in fists towards us. 2 and. So you're going to step with your right and bring your body up to the right side. So again, 1 and, 2 and. Then we're going to expand our fists open with our chest, go onto our right foot, and then in with our left knee, okay? And bring our hands in over our face. So 2 and, that will go. 3 and, okay? So expand, bring in, 3 and. Then on 4, we're going to jump onto our right leg, put our left hand behind us, and we're going to jump onto our right leg and swing this forward and lift our left, okay? So just the right fist is going to swing upwards and bring up your left knee. So again from here, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4. Now, what you're going to do from here is you're going to get your right hand open and push this out across you to the right side. As we do that, we're going to step left, right, left. Okay, just really fast, stepping on your feet, left, right, left, as this hand goes around. Finally, we're going to get our right hand into a fist now. We're going to swing it 2 times, and we're going to step down, stomp down with our right foot 2 times. On the final time, you're going to swing this fist up again, lift your left, and then finally put your hands down and your foot down. So from this part where we step quickly with our feet, this will go 5 and 6 and 7, 8. Okay, so it's just left, right, right, and stomp. Okay, just before we continue to end this part, let's go from the beginning of the fast rap part, so part 2, and do that with the counts. 8, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. After you stomp down, your hands, similar to what we've done before, you're going to have both your hands into fists. You're going to punch your left hand forward and your right hand behind your head, and then come back. So you're going to punch left, right, then you're going to open out your right hand like this. As we do that, we're going to step out with our left foot, left, back to the middle, and then open out your right hand. So this will go 1 and 2. Now we're going to do it again. And 3, but this time you do not open your right hand here, you keep it in a fist. So and 3, then on and 4, we're going to get our hands open, and 4. So we're going to open them out, lean forward on your left knee, bring your head forward and back. So from that move, that will go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now we're going to get our left hand back of it to our hip. We're going to get our right hand to our mouth. We're going to lean backwards on our left hip. 5, 6, come back up. So you're going to lean backwards on the left, bending your right knee. 5, 6. Now we're going to put both our hands down, walk back into our place. 7, 8. On 8, you're going to point your right index finger all the way up to the ceiling. So from this move, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the way up to the ceiling. All right, so that is verse 2 done. We're going to go one more time from the second half, the really fast rap. Then we're going to go all the way from the beginning with the counts as well. 8, 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is lesson 7, I believe, and this is the second pre-chorus. So we've just pointed up to the ceiling. We're going to spin this finger around to the left 2 times. Now, as we do that, we're going to bend our knees. We're going to swivel our hips to the left and then to the right. So this will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to step forward with our left foot. We're going to get our right hand in a fist over our head. We're going to punch, punch, punch 3 times to the rhythm of her lyrics. Punch, 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 like knock up to the top. We're going to flick our left hip as well. Knock, knock, knock. Then we're going to bring this fist up and over towards in front of our chest. So from the beginning, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8 in front of your chest. Now you're going to expand your fingers and go back. Expand your fingers and go back. Now as we do that, we're going to lift our left hip up. As we expand, go back, expand, go back. This will go 1, 2, 3, 4. On 3, 4, you can tilt your head to the left quickly and back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to step forward, left, right. We're going to get our hands to the side of our forehead on our right side. We're going to spin our head around from left to right like this as we walk forward. So this will go 5, 6. On 7, get your right index finger, point it up and down, okay? 7, 8. On 8, you're going to point right index finger back up to the top, and you have a slight tilt to the left, looking over on your right side. So from here, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to the top. That's the first half. Let's go from the beginning with the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now from here, what we're going to do is circle our finger 2 times to the right. As we do that, we have a slight tilt to the left. We're going to bend our knees and swing our hips to the right and then to the left. So this will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now back to the center. We're going to get our 2 fists. We're going to go right, left, right, left, right, left. So you're going up to the top left first, right, left. You just knock your hands, okay, your fists. Right, left in the center, right, left to the top. Now as we do that, we're going to first bend in our right knee, then center, then left knee. So boom, boom, boom. So from here, from the second half, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then on and 8, we're going to go and 8. You're just going to bring your body back to the front, put your hands in front of you like this. And 8. Then we're going to put our hands to the side of our ears, and we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to lean forward and put our right knee forward like this, and then switch to the other side to the left. So from here, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to repeat the here we go move when we go here we go to get ready for the chorus. And then after that, you go straight into the exact same chorus. So that is the post-chorus done. We're going to do the second half from here, like that. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. We're going to do that with the counts, and then we're going to go all the way from the beginning as well. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, let's just walk through some quick chorus and post-chorus changes. All the way through the first half of the chorus is the same. Only change in the chorus is the rainbow part. So from the second half, we go like this. We go dun, da, 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 and then when they do the rainbow part, you're gonna step left, right, and before we did this, we had our index finger on our hand. This time, you're gonna have all your fingers spread open onto your hand, and then do a rainbow. That is literally the only difference in the chorus part. Yeah, so just remember that. After here, you go here with all your fingers, and then do a rainbow, and then this is still the same all the way up until the end, okay? Post-chorus is all the same throughout as well, except for the ending. So let's just go from the second half when we go here, like this, boom, boom, up, 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 up. Okay, so that is all the same up until that point. Then what we're going to do is we're going to jump in our place and put our hands, back of our hands to our hips, jump with our feet in the middle. We're going to get our right toe, point to the left side. We're going to circle this around and then pump our chest inwards. We're going up, 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 up. The counts for this will go 1 and 2, 3, 4. Pump your chest. Now, similarly to before, we're going to get our fingers from pinky to thumb on the right side of our head, the top, but this time you're going to do the left as well. And then finally, you're going to put your left hand down, point your right index finger up like before. Then when you put this down, you're going to bend your knees, circle your head from left to right. So from the changes, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7 and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you do the additional 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then from there it gets into the bridge. Okay, this is lesson 8 and this is the bridge. So what we've done is we've gone like this. So now you're going to put the back of your left hand to your hip and bring in your left knee. You're going to get your index finger, your right index finger, and you're going to circle it around in the front. So this is going to go 1, 2. Now we're going to turn on our right side, 3, 4. We're going to face the right side like this. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to keep our left knee bent. We're going to get this left hand, we're going to push it out, so the back of your wrist is going to bend, out to the left, forward to the right, so you're going to switch it to the palm, forward to the right, then you're going to get this hand, bring it from behind your head, over like this, and then down your neck. So from the beginning, this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to brush this down the side of your body and you're going to walk back into your place. So from here, this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Literally just to finish that part, you're going to walk in your place. Okay, so let's just recap the first half of the bridge and do that with the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now for the second half, you're going to walk forward on your left leg and we're going to walk forward with our right hand facing upwards. It's going to go 1, 2, so you push it forward. Now we're going to bring in our right foot in the center. We're going to bend in our left knee. So again, 1, 2, now bend in your left knee. Now as you do that, you're going to get both hands now with fingers open. We're going to cross the right hand on the bottom and left hand up to the top like this, and we're going to bend our head to the right side as we stretch out our arms on either side. So this will go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go 5, 6. We're going to expand our hands. 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to close back again and then open. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now from here, we're going to twist on our left side, twist our feet, and we're going to lean forward, put our left hand to our back, lean forward on your right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to roll back up. 3, 4. Now we're going to push out our left knee. We're going to get our left hand on our left thigh, and we're going to point out our knee like this, and we're just going to wave our head down over to this side, and then come back up to the center. So from this move, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back to the center. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way from the beginning of the bridge with the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is lesson 9 and this is the dance break. So the dance break is going to be split into 2 parts. What we're going to do is we're going to get our hands into fists and we're going to push them over to the right side, push them over to the left side. Now as we do that, our head's going to follow. So you're going to push your head to the right and then push your head to the left. Now as we're doing that, what we're first going to do is we're going to get our right heel. We're going to step with our right heel crossing over on the left side. Right heel, step with your left foot. And then when you switch over to the other side, you're going to step with your right heel onto the right side. So your feet are simply going right heel, step, right heel. Right, step, right, okay? Right, step, right. As you twist and twist. So right, step, right. Now from this position, we're going to twist our feet over to the left side and then to the right side. As we do that, we're going to get our hands, palms of our hands to our chest. We're going to flick them over to the right side, then to the left side like this, as our feet twist, twist, okay? So again, this goes 1 and 2, 3, and then on 4, we're gonna jump onto our right leg, get our hands open, swinging open on the bottom. We're gonna jump onto our right leg, and we're gonna swing our hands in the bottom and swing our left foot behind. From the beginning, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Like this, all the way to the back. Now we're going to glide these hands out like a plane, like this, so push them out. And as we do that, we're going to step onto our left leg. As we push our hands out into like plane wings, what we're going to do is we're going to step onto our left leg, raise our right knee, and then our right knee again. So 8, this will go 1, 2, now we're going to step with our right foot on 3, bring our hands, circle them around, 4. On 4, you're going to do a huge crocodile snap like this and step with your left foot. So, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, we're going to stop there. We're going to do a quick recap from the beginning and do that with the counts before we continue. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So after we step right and snap, from here you're going to walk back 2 steps. 1, 2. Now on the second step, you want to kind of squat your knees and begin to face the right side. So after the snap here, you're going to walk back 1, 2. Then from here, you're going to do a big jump to face the back and a big jump to spin around back to the front. Now, I can't jump in slow motion, but you're going to lift your legs really high each time as you jump. Now, as you jump, you're going to get your hands, you're going to slap them down 2 times. As you jump, jump. So, from here, this will go 1, 2, jump, jump, okay? But you want to jump really high. Then you're going to walk back on your right, left. When you step back with your left, you're going to put your 2 fists out, completely straight, horizontal on either side. So that will go. So after the jump, 5, 6, on 7, 8, you're going to lean backwards and you're going to raise your right knee bent and you're going to lean backwards, 7, 8. Now, you don't have to go back completely far if you don't have good balance. Technically, all the members are holding onto each other like this as they look up at the ceiling and lean back. So from here, this will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that is the first half of the chorus. If you want to practice that part with counts, skip over straight to the recap. I'll put a timestamp. If you want to stay here for an alternative to the jumping move, I will teach that now quickly, just in case you don't want to jump or you live in an apartment and you can't jump, you don't want to make noise. So this is the alternative. Once you do the crocodile snap here, now when you walk back 2 steps, 1, 2. You're going to step backwards on 2. You're going to put your hands out on either side. So from here, this would be the alternative to the jump. 1, 2, then you're going to go 3, 4. So you're going to bend in your right knee and then bend in your left knee. 3, 4. We're doing what the other members are doing now, not the dance line in the back. You're going to step left, right to face the left. Okay, so from the crocodile snap with counts, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You hold here for 7. On 8, you're going to go 8. So you're going to do the same thing where you lean backwards and lift your right leg, but no hands. 7, 8, and then on 1, they're going to say we go. You're going to get your left index finger, bring your foot back down, get your left index finger, we go. You're going to bring this up like this. So from the alternative part, from the crocodile snap here, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, like this. Okay, so you point over, and then you're going to be facing the front because technically these members are going to run off the stage, but if you're going to continue into the second half of the dance break after we go, you want to face the front again to get ready for the second part of the dance break. So now we're going to recap this first half from the beginning, but we're going to be doing the original part that I taught you where you do the 2 jumps like this. But if you're doing the alternative, feel free to do the alternative instead. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now this is the second part of the dance break. So this is the dance line bit where there's 5 members. If you've just finished here and you've done the alternative part, you would go 1, 2, 3. Just walk backwards into your place. We're going to be doing this part here, the dance line part. So from here, 8, this will go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to adapt my count to the sound of the beat. So I'm going to show you the moves first before I teach them. This will go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that gives you a little recap of what that part is going to be. So after walking back on 1, 2, 3, you're going to stomp with your right foot over to the right side, get your 2 fists, circle them and punch upwards. You're going to stomp with your left foot, punch up to the left side. So that will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on 5, 5. You want to bring these fists down, bend your knees on the left side. So this will go 4 and 5. Now on 6 and 7, what you're going to be doing is you're going to twist your head to the right side and you're going to tumble your hands towards you with your fists over to the right side. As we do that, we're going to step right, left, all the way up to the top, facing the right side. Now from the punching part, this goes 4 and 5, 6 and 7. Now from here, quickly on 8, we're going to go 8. So from this position, when we're tumbling our hands, you're going to put your fist on either side. You're going to go onto your left leg, lean back slightly, and kick your right leg forward. So this is 7, 8, then on and, after we've kicked, keep your leg in the air. You're going to twist your body to this side. You're going to overlap your hands onto each other on the left side, and you're going to kick backwards with your right leg. So your right leg is essentially doing 2 kicks. First, you're going to kick your right leg forward. Then you're going to twist your body this way and kick backwards. So you're going kick, kick. Okay, so keep your leg in the air when you do those 2 kicks. So from the tumbling part, 7, 8, and then on 1, we're going to go 1. So you're going to put your hands that were here overlapping on either side of you now, lean backwards and touch your right foot to the floor. Some of the members touch their foot to the floor with their heel. Some of them kick in the air. So it doesn't matter as long as your toe is pointing up and your heel is either touching the air or touching the floor, it's fine. So from here, let's go 7, 8, and 1. Okay, so you can either kick the air or kick the floor. Just before we continue, we're going to recap from the beginning of that part with the counts. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Now you're going to go and 2. So with your right foot either in the air or on the floor, you're going to step back, right, left. Now as you do that, you're going to get these hands that were down here, you're going to bring them up and wave them down on the bottom left. So from the kick, this goes kick, kick, heel, and step. Okay, so heel and step. And as you step, you do a wave. Again from the kick, 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 heel, and step. Okay, now from here, we're going to get our hands into fists. We're going to circle our body, hips, shoulder, all the way around to the right side like this and bend our knees. With counts, this will go 8 and 1 and 2 and 3. Then quickly on and 4. We're going to jump onto our right leg, get our hands on our chest, jump onto our right leg, and we're going to expand our chest with our hands onto our shoulders. Pop your chest inwards with your elbows and stomp that left foot in. So from here on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then you're going to pump your chest in like this, stomp your left foot in. So after we pump, we're going to bring our hands outwards on 5, step with our left foot over to this side, 5. Now we're going to put our left hand behind our back over here. We're going to get our right fist, step with our right foot forward, bring the fist up, step with our right foot forward, and we're going to slap the fist down, step with your right toe, flick your hip up, like this. So from this part here on 1, this will go and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6. Okay, so slap this fist down, 6. Now on 7, we're going to step forward with the right foot, 7. Okay, like this. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to step forward with your right, get your right hand, open it out, scoop into our face. Now out with the elbow, all the way up here, above our head. Your left foot should be coming around. You're going to step with your left foot over here. Now you're going to get this left hand. This right hand up here is going to slap down, and this left hand is going to slap up. They're going to slap off each other. You're going to go onto your left leg and raise your right knee. So from 6, that will go 6, 7, 8. Up on your left leg, slap your hands off each other like this, raise your right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from the kick part, okay? So from here, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now you wait here until the ending part. All right, so that was the second half of the dance break. Feel free to slow it down if you need to. Pause the video, do it yourself in your own time if you need to. So what we're going to do is we're going to recap from the second half one more time, and then we're going to go all the way from the beginning of the dance break and add it all together. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay guys, this is lesson 10. I think it's 10. We're going to be doing the ending part now. So we have just finished here. Now on 1, 2, 3, 4, you're simply just going to swoop your arms around and walk to your place, starting on your right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're simply just stepping into your place. Then on 5, 6, 7, 8, we're going to be doing a twirling move over to the right side, but I want to show you the hand movements first. So your hands are literally just going to go up with your right hand. On 5, 6, you're going to bring your left hand up. 7 with your right hand, and then on 8, you're going to brush off your left knee. So you're going 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, the reason why I'm showing it in front first is because I don't want you to get confused once I start spinning. With your right hand, you're going to go out with your right leg as you spin. 5, then you're going to step with your left foot to face the back and put your left hand up. 6, then come around again with your right foot. 7, raise your right hand. 8, on 8, you're going to get this right hand, brush off the left knee in front and raise it. From the beginning at the end of the dance break, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now from here, you're going to start walking on your left foot. 1, then on and, you're going to lift your hands up. Just keep walking and put these casually down the back of your head. So from here, 8, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to repeat a move that we know already from one of the post-choruses. You're going to do the dun, 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 dun move, okay? Where you're going to put the front of your right fist like this and the back of your left hand, and you're just going to switch them like this as we walk side to side. So after going 1, 2, 3, 4, this will go 5, 6, 7, and 8. You're going to flick your hands out on either side, all facing the front. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to recap first from the end of the dance break right there with the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. So after 8, on 1, you're going to bend your knees 1, then you're going to do a big jump, and 2. So I can't jump, obviously, in slow motion, but what you're going to do is have your left hand behind your head, right hand out to the side, and you're going to jump. I'm going to hold my mic. You're literally just going to jump like that with your legs out, like a really girly jump, and you're going to put your left hand behind your head and your right hand out to the side. But when I'm demonstrating it, I'm going to stay on my left leg and just fling my right foot up in the air and back down. So from here, 8, this is going to go 1 and 2, then you're going to land, 3, 4. Okay, so when you land, you're just going to simply walk backwards into your place. Give yourself some room. You might want to step over to the right because we're going to twirl over to the left side. So from here, 1 and jump, 3, 4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do that twirling move over to this side now. So we're just going to do the mirrored effect onto this side. You're going to raise your left hand, right hand, left hand, and then as you guessed it, you're going to get your left hand and you're going to push off this right knee. So again, we're doing the flip side of what we learned before, but on this side. So we're going to step with our left foot now. We're going to twirl, 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 push, like this. Okay, one more time. We're going to go left, right, left, and then push. Now we're going to walk to our place on 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to now step with our right foot, tap, left foot, tap with your right foot. When you tap finally with your right toe, you're going to get ready to face the back and start walking. So again, that goes right, tap, left, tap, and you're going to walk over the backwards. Now, if you want to follow shouting in the middle, as you step with your right, you're going to raise your right hand up to the midsection. You're going to go 1, 2. On 2, you're just going to bend your fingers down. So 1, 2, 3. You expand your fingers again. 4. You're going to bend your fingers down when you touch off that final time with your right foot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Just before we go into the outro bit, let's recap all the way from the beginning with the counts from the end of the dance break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so after you touch off, you're going to walk backwards towards the back wall on your right, left. Now face the front again on your left side, right, left. You're going to have a tilt to the right side though. So again, after touching off, you're going to go walk, walk, turn around, facing the right. Now we're going to do the up, 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 up move. So with your hands, same thing, right, left, right, center behind your head, and then push up, okay? Now, as we do this, we're going to be raising our left knee. So you're going to go up, up, put it back down, up one more time with your right hand and your left knee, then up. You're going to put your feet down, bend your hips down on the right, put your fingers behind your head, and then finally on up, you're going to shoot both your hands straight up to the top and pop your left hip and your left leg all the way straight. So this will go up, 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 up. And then finally put your hands down. You're going to just rest in a neutral position with your left knee bent straight in the front. So again, after we touch off, this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1. Put your hands down, and then that is the end of the song. Well done if you have made it this far and completed the entire dance. What we're going to do now is we're going to go from the beginning of this ending verse with the counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 1. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. Remember to subscribe for more if you haven't already. If you would like to learn another Kep1er dance, I will link one on the screen for their debut song. Also, if you would like to learn a different dance with the same kind of difficulty level, feel free to check out my high intermediate tutorial playlist. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next tutorial.